Today I'm talking about electricity usage in winter and your electricity bill. You know, we're finding at Target that every year in winter the electricity bills go through the roof. Tenants complain about the price of electricity, landlords are complaining about the price of electricity, and of course the first question everyone asks is, was the meter read correctly? And very often, in fact 99% of the time when we check, the meters were read correctly. So I just want to address usage in winter. The first thing to notice about winter usage is your geyser. The primary contributor to the cost of your electricity is your geyser. And in winter, your geyser is working that much harder just to get warm and to keep it up at 60, 70 degrees. So I've got a couple of tips about using less electricity, which just watch till the end of the video. I'll get to those. But I just want to say that in winter, you're using far more electricity on your geyser, and you might also have a heater running. And we find that on average in winter, your electricity bill will be double your summer bill if you do nothing different. And then secondly, there's a delay. You need to be aware of the delay as well. For example, if we had a very cold May, which we had this year, we had a very cold May. Your electricity account is read and your meter is read at the end of May by the body corporate. The body corporate then send the invoice to the property manager or the owner in June, towards the end of June. I think you get your bills, we get the bills about the 20th of June. And then you'll find that in July you'll be billed for your May electricity. So suddenly in July you get this massive bill. And the bill is high because you use more electricity, but in winter the tariffs are higher. Eskom charges more for electricity in winter. So you get a double whammy. You get the higher charge and you're using more electricity in winter. And of course there's a 2-month delay. So even in September, you might have a lovely warm September, and the 1st of October you find that you've still got a heavy electricity bill because of the 2-month delay. So that's just something to be aware of. I want to give you a couple of tips now about electricity usage. And the biggest tip I can give is put a timer on your geyser. Putting a timer on your geyser will cost you, you'll save the cost of installing the timer in 1 month. In 1 month, I did it at my house. I put a timer on my geyser. My geyser runs for sort of 3 hours in the morning and 2 or 3 hours in the evening. It takes about an hour, hour and a half to heat your geyser up. And by doing that, I dropped my electricity bill by about 60%. So that made a major difference, is putting a timer in. Talk to your property manager about installing a timer on your geyser. It's really a worthwhile investment. And then secondly, if you find yourself with a high electricity bill that you didn't budget for and you want to query it, please do not withhold your rental. I find this happens to tenants over and over. You feel like you're powerless because suddenly you've got this high bill and you haven't budgeted for it, and then you query it. And while you're querying it, you end up paying electricity late. And then you get into fines and all kinds of things. And the owner can't pay his bond, he can't pay his levies on time, and everything just escalates out of control. So if you find that your electricity bill is a lot higher than you think, and you want to query it, please pay your rent as normal and pay an estimate of electricity, and then query it. And your property manager will take your query seriously, will put the query through to the body corporate and check your meter. But don't just not pay. It doesn't help. It really is very negative to everybody. Okay, so I hope that helps. The reason I'm doing this video is so many people ask the same question every time. Why is my bill so high in winter? And then they assume that there's an error. And actually, it's very often not the error. It's just a higher usage, and it costs more in winter. I hope this helps. Thanks a lot. Oh, and before we go, please consider subscribing to this channel on YouTube so that when we do new updates like this, and I put new bits of information out that are really helpful to both tenants and landlords, you'll be notified. So don't forget to hit that bell as well. Okay, thanks a lot.